Hey guys, welcome back to another Sorted George Garage with me, Julian. We've recently rebuilt a Chrysler 440 engine. First time I've ever done it, but I think we've got a bit of a problem. Have a listen to this. Now it sounds to me either a cam lobe has gone or it might be a lifter or both. I think we better investigate. I'm 99.9% sure it's not going to be the crank because obviously the crank goes over twice to the cams once with a suck, squeeze, bang, blow. And it's not fast enough to be the big ends. So yeah, I think it's either a cam or a lifter. Let's investigate. Here we go. Okay, first things first. Seeing as whatever it is that may have failed is making that noise is coming from sort of like around this area. What I'm going to do first is take off that rocker cover because we did, when rebuilding the engine, I did actually put in new rocker arms. And just in case one of them has failed, well, let's check it out first. So that's first job, take off the rocker covers. Here we go. Right, so rocker off. Rocker cover off, should I say. None of the rocker arms are loose at all. There's no movement. We've got one, this one I think it is, just a fraction, but that's obviously going to be because of the compression and whatever else. Nothing else is moving. And when you look at the arm here, obviously I can twist that. So other than that, nothing is wrong. Nothing is moving at all. That all seems fine, and now I've got oil all over my hand. So right, let's take off that rocker cover. Here we go. Right, and that's done. That's off. This is exactly the same as the other side. Everything's fine. The only one that we've got movement on, I think, was number 3, because obviously you go 1843, 6, 5, 7, 2, and that's obviously the ones that are the way that the compression stroke is. That's exactly the same. Nothing wrong there. The push rods, like the arms, etc., fine. Right, let's take out the actual rocker shaft itself on both sides, and we can go from there. See you in a bit. Right, sorted, George. That's the rocker shafts out. They are absolutely fine. Let me just turn the old torch off. Nothing wrong with them. All of this lot here is all nice and smooth. There's no pitting, nothing untoward, etc. on both of them. Shafts are fine. So are the push rods. I've rolled them and everything's fine on the right and the left. Now that obviously I've used them in this engine, I am going to keep them in order. Yeah, I suppose what we've got to do now is intake off and we can crack on with that. So, right, let me do that. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, right, intake is off. We are all set up, ready to have a look now at these lifters. I've had a quick glance at the cam. It doesn't look too bad. I can see a mark. Where is it? Which one is it gone? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? There it is there. Right, you got a mark there I can see and there. But I haven't taken out any lifters yet, so I don't know. I've got my box set up ready to take the lifters so I can keep them all in order. Right, let's get you set up and we'll take some lifters out. Here we go. Okay, right, let's go from the front. As you do, this one's coming out all right. Check the underneath. That looks flat. That looks fine. Right, so front, yeah, that's fine. Well, that's fine. Yeah, fine. Well, that's fine. Well, that's fine. That's fine. Underneath that is fine as well. Okay, right, let's go down this side. That's fine. That's fine. Fine. Yeah, that looks fine. Yeah, that looks fine as well. Yep, fine. Fine. Still fine. Well, I think it's just a case of then we've just got a noisy lifter. Right, it's the next evening. Right, so what I've done, I've taken the fan off. It says that I can put my 1.25" socket on the bottom pulley. It says that we can turn the crank to turn the cam around. I've checked out every lobe and everything is fine. What I was on about earlier with these little marks, look, they're just wear marks as in what would be expected. You can see on that very last lobe there, the two different colours. Is where, I don't know if you are aware, but what happens is the cam at the bottom of the lifter, like the lobe and the lifter, do not sit spot on. They're at a bit of, I know this is exaggerated, but they're at an angle, okay? Basically then, as the lobe comes round, because it only hits at an angle, the bottom of the lifter is not 100% flat. There is a tiny crown, so that way then it makes the lifter turn, so you don't get the wear. Yeah, I've had a good look at each lobe, and everything is fine there. There's no wear on any of the lobes or anything, okay? Right, so now we come to the bench. All the lifters are fine. Now, as you can see here, like, you know, you've got all the circle marks, etc., etc. You know, everything's fine. Now, bearing in mind, this is a second-hand cam, second-hand lifters, but all the lifters marry up in the right place to the cam. When I got all this lot off of my engineer friend John, I mean, I even got the box there for them, like, you know what I mean? They're all fine. The new rocker arms, again, they're all fine. I've checked out all the ball sockets where the push rods sit, and I've also checked here where the rocker arms sit against the valve springs. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. I've done, since putting the engine back together, I've done 20 miles, 21 miles. Tell you what, let's have a look. 21 miles, something like that, 21 miles. Just set my torch on. We've done, since the rebuild, what's that say? 23.8. There you go. So for round figures then, we'll call it 24 miles. Now you run a cam in for what? 20 minutes? Well, you just as well say I've done that. After doing the 24 miles, you just as well say that I've already done that. There is no wear on the bottom of them lifters. Okay, let's go back to them. We got one or two sort of like marks here, but nothing to write home about, as you can see. Okay, there's one or two sort of like little marks here, but I am not worried about that. It's not the kind of marks, literally, they're just, what do you call it? You can't feel them with your finger, like, you know what I mean? It's still flat, it's still okay, and also in there is circles, just like these here, all right? That's what you would expect to find. So I think, I hope, it's just a noisy lifter. That's the only thing I can think of. There's no wear to the bottom of the lifters. There's no wear on the cam lobes. There's no wear here on the rocker arms or on the rocker shaft or anything. The push rods are all good and they're all flat. I've given them a roll, etc. Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of, is that it is a lifter. So, now, I've got, from my engineer friend John, I phoned him up, I spoke to him today. He's sending me out a set of 8, so I can do, like, one bank or the other. Now, being stood at the front, it did sound like it was more left-hand side than right-hand side. However, it was very difficult to tell. And obviously, because that would be the tops of the lifters there, and you can see how close together they are. And then you've got like an acoustic area here. Then you've got the inlet, you know, like the gasket and the manifold and everything else. So it's a bit difficult to tell, but I am sure it was the right hand side of the car or the left hand side of the engine if you're looking at it from here, from the front. Okay, so I'm going to replace the left hand bank as you look at it there when the lifters come tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm going to actually start stripping these down, because I want to see whether or not I don't know, it might even be one of the springs in the bottom may have broken, or the check ball in the bottom there is stuck or something. I don't know. Perhaps it just needs cleaning out. Perhaps one of them just needs cleaning out. So I'm just going to get on, have a play with them. Yeah, I'll probably see you tomorrow when the lifters turn up. See you in a bit. Right, it's the next afternoon, guys. I've done 9 lifters. I'm on my 10th one now. Yeah, right. Stripping out this bottom bowl, I actually had 2 springs in there, not 1. And that was that they were together in there. So, yeah, talk about throwing these together. Maybe that's the problem, because there was 2 springs in there. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Right, yeah, I'm going to crack on. Here we go. Okay, that's that job. They're all done. They're all in a pot now, soaking with oil. They've had a good old soak. What I've done is, obviously I've filled this lot up with oil, but I've also used the end of one of the push rods. It's just to sort of pump these up and down a couple of times. I've got a load of air come out of the filler holes. I'm not going to like pump these. I'm going to let the engine do that, like set its own hydraulic pressure, but obviously I wanted to get some oil inside the lifter just to give it a helping hand. Do you know what I mean? Right, I'm going to basically set the, put the stuff back again. Right, basically I now need to put all this lot back together again. So let me get on and do that, and I'll see you when it's done. Ready for start up. Sorted, George. Here I go. Okay, we got it all back together. Everything's done, ready, buttoned up, all ready to go. Let's hope we have cured that lifter noise. I really do hope it was because of the 2 springs that were side by side. Let's hope so. Right, I'm going to have to wind this over a bit to get the fuel up, but let's go. Here we go. Now, let's say I've got to wind this over to get the fuel up, but yeah, come on, baby. Let's hope we've cured it. Obviously the lifters have got to fill up yet. I'll let that warm up and I'll come back. Still chattering away. But now it sounds like there's 2 rather than 1. So obviously I don't think they're filled up yet. Well, I don't know. Like I say, it sounds like we've got two in there now, not one chattering away. What do you reckon? What do you think? No, he's not impressed either. Oh well, never mind. Well, he's going back for another look. You're going to go back, or what are you going to do? No? No? Okay. All right. Well, I don't know. Let's get the oil up to temperature, etc., etc. See what happens. If not, I'll have to take it all apart again, won't I? Hey, it's good practice, isn't it? Right, I'll come back in a minute. Well, she's warmed up. I can just hear it slightly. You'll probably able to hear it better on camera. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Maybe it's me, maybe it's just a case of it needed to fill up a bit. Here we go. Might have a vacuum leak or something going on there, I don't know what it is. You can just hear it. It's nowhere near as bad as what it was, but I can just hear it. I think it's a case of we've just got a noisy lifter. You know, I mean, whether it was the fact that there was two springs sat in one of the lifters there down on the bottom that was not allowing the plate to shut off or regulate the hydraulic pressure properly or what, I don't know. Yeah, I can hear it slightly. I have noticed though with this cell phone that the microphone does pick it up better than what it does with the naked ear, if that makes sense. So you might be able to hear it better than what you can when you're actually here with it. Well, I can just hear it. Just about hear it. Sometimes it's worse than others. Like I say, it might be just the way that it is spinning in its seat. We might just have a noisy lifter, simple as. Like I say, the camera lifters were second hand. Yeah, I might have possibly a vacuum leak or something like that, I don't know. She's rocking away there when she wasn't before. So that's something I've got to sort out. I'm not going to call it a win, but I'm certainly going to say that it's much better than what it was. I think it was to do with them two springs that had rolled together on that one lifter, but I think it's just made it a little bit of a noisy lifter, unfortunately, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm starting to hear it now. It was quiet. It was a lot quieter. I don't know what to say, guys. I really don't know what to say apart from sort of stripping it all out and putting a new cam in and new lifters in, which I don't want to do. Apart from that, she runs absolutely sweet. It's just that one noisy lifter, but she's a lot better than what she was. I won't call it a win, but I'll certainly say we've succeeded in quietening it down. How about that? Sorted, George. Banging. Okay, so about a week later, I've been reviewing the footage that you've just seen. Not happy. I'm not happy.
I'm not happy, Bob. Not happy.
Yeah, not happy, Bob. Although we've quietened the lifter down, you know, when we clean them out, it's still there. The noise is still there. I think the only way we're going to be able to get rid of that noise, sadly, is to strip it out again and put in a new cam and lifter set, which I wasn't really keen on doing, to be honest with you, because I mean, it's about 400 quid. But I want it right. I want it right, and the only way I'm going to get it right is to actually do that. So I had to bite the bullet, and that's what we've done. I've bitten the bullet, and we've got ourselves a new cam and lifter set. Let me open up the box, and we'll see what we got. Sorted, George. Okay, let's have a look, see what we got, shall we? This was about £420. So what's that, $480, $500 I suppose, something like that. Right, what we got? Oh yes, oil, that's right. Yes, I got, should be 7 quarts plus additive as well. So we got, what we got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there's a... Oh, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And additive. I'll have to double check that receipt because he told me 7. Unless there's another one in here. There's the cam. That should be a comp cam. Okay. That's nice to know. Here we go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16. I don't like the way that they're packed. You'd have thought that they would have been sort of like packed a bit more safe, certainly around there. That's a bit rubbish packaging, isn't it? Never mind. Okay, so what we've got, obviously 16 lifters. Yeah, not very impressed with the way that these are packaged. You'd have thought that it would have been packed a little bit more secure so that they don't rub together, but maybe that's just me. I mean, yeah, like maybe if they were sat in a box like that, I would have been a bit more happy, but it is what it is, I suppose. That's, you know, if they think that that's adequate, then who am I? Right, yeah, comp cams, it is just a standard camshaft for the 440. I don't want anything special. I'm not looking to be ragging the, you know, the arse down the road, as it were. She's a 66 grocery getter at the end of the day. It's a big family car. It's probably, I think it's a 276 rear end, so it's a motorway cruiser. So there's no point in me trying to hop the engine up when the back end is still going to be, you know, low geared like that, as it were. Like so, yeah. This is basically standard cam, standard lift and duration, and all the rest of it. Intake and exhaust. What does that mean? I haven't got a clue. I do not have a clue. What I do know is that is the degrees and the lift and duration and all that lot for a standard cam. I know that. My knowledge does not extend that far when it comes to cams, so forget it. Yeah, that's it. Right, so we've got the cam, we've got broken in oil, we've got 6 quarts. And also we've got the break-in oil additive for the cam. I was told by the shop, oh, he says, no, he said, I think you need 7 quarts. That's why I said there should have been 7 in there, but they have actually charged me for 6, not 7. So that was £410, including shipping. So it's 400 quid. That was £400. So that's what? Yeah, it's about $500, I think, all that lot. So not too bad, considering obviously like we're international from the US, so obviously they've got to ship it over to us. You know, they've got to get it here to the UK and then obviously send it out and make a profit, you know, blah blah blah. So I'm happy with what we've got, with what I've paid. All I've got to do now is strip that little baby out again. Yeah. But this time, obviously, what I'm going to be doing is taking off the whole of the front, not just the top there. Take out the radiator. Because I don't have the aircon radiator, I'll have a lot more room here to get the cam through. to go into the block, so I shouldn't need to take the engine out. So next video will be installing the cam whilst the engine is in situ. So that's what's coming up. I will cut this one here, guys. Thanks ever so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Like, share, hit the subscribe button as well if you wouldn't mind. I'd really appreciate that. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before Christmas. Help us out, please, please get us there. Spread the word. Tell them, you know, go to Sorted George Garage and subscribe. Tell your friends. Guys, I will see you on the next one. It's Sorted George Garage. Banging.